Hi everyone, I'm Kristy from KristyCoromandel.com and welcome to episode 2 of our Getting Started with Card Making series. This is a series designed specifically for the new paper crafter and for those who have just started out paper crafting and not sure where to get started. Last episode we talked about the key supplies that are needed for your card making toolbox. We went through about 6 items that are a must-have for your crafting toolbox, and I challenged you also to go ahead and to gather your supplies and put them aside because we're going to revisit those in a later episode. This episode we're going to talk about stamps, what type of stamps there are on the market, how to assemble your cling mount stamp sets, the need for acrylic block and what to use if you don't have an acrylic block available to you. And then we're going to finish off with how to decide what stamp set I should be purchasing. And we'll look at a few little different tips and techniques there. So let's get started. Okay, so the ones that you're probably the most familiar with is our wood mount stamp sets. You can buy these like in a set, or you can buy them individually depending on where you purchase them from. So they may already come mounted for you like this one here is, or they may come individually where you get the wood, the red rubber, and then the image itself separately. So all you would do is simply peel off this label here, stick it to your block, and then simply peel off and stick the label on top as well so that it looks something like this. So it's already mounted for you for wherever you go. Now the downside to having wood mount is that they do take up a lot of space, a lot of storage space. So they may be in containers like this one here, which is this stamp set, or if you're purchasing the old wood mounts from Stampin' Up, they would come in a little DVD case that's like this. Okay, so they can take up a lot of space on your shelf because they are quite thick in nature. One of the benefits from wood that I really like is that they are already fully mounted for you, so it's quick and easy to straight away go and ink up your stamp and create your project. So that's wood mount stamps. Now the next one we've got is cling mount. Okay, and here's an example of what cling mount. So cling mount has the same red rubber as our wood mounts, or your wood mounts, except they don't have a block to them and they're very sticky. So in order to use these, you do need what we call an acrylic block. So here like this, and you would simply adhere your image to your cling block, ink it up, and then stamp. And then once you're finished, you would peel off and put it away. So one of the definitely the benefits of this is that the storage is so much smaller. So it's like in a little DVD case. It's very thin and they're stackable, so you can easily put them on a bookshelf or in a DVD holder or even in your drawer like this so you can see them. So many benefits to that. The downside is that you always you need to have acrylic blocks to actually go with them. And your acrylic blocks can come in a variety of different sizes and shapes. And these you purchase separately, or you can purchase the whole kit, which I think there's about 8 different blocks at 10% discount through Stampin' Up. One of the other things that I love about cling mount stamps is that it has the same red rubber as our wood mount stamps. Now one thing that you need to look at when you are purchasing your stamps, especially your red rubber stamps, is that you'll notice here we've got a layer of red rubber and then we have a layer of foam, okay, and then this is just the paper backing that will peel off and stick to my wood block. You need that layer of foam to add cushioning to your stamp image so that when you are stamping your image down, okay, it's applying some cushion so that you get a nice, clean, crisp image every single time. Okay, so that's one thing that you definitely look at with our red rubber stamps. Now the cling mount stamps, when you do purchase them, will come something like this. We'll have a thing of imaging sheet, and then we have our red rubber. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to assemble your cling mount stamps. You'll notice that these are like stuck in here, okay? So they've already been die cut out for you, but they just slightly held together with this still in the framework. So what we want to do is we want to pop them out. So the best, easiest way to do that is to get your thumb and your middle finger here, or your other two fingers, and hold that image with your inside there, and then gently apply pressure to your thumb, and you've got your other hands here on the other side for support. You're gently going to apply pressure to break that away, okay? And then you can simply just separate all of those. So I'm just going to go ahead here and pop all of these out. Okay, so let's hold on to this because I'm going to show you a trick to use this at the end. Okay, so I have all of my little images here. Now there are instructions right here in the front here on how to assemble your cling mount stamps if you get stuck, but here's a little quick tip for you here. So I have my imaging sheet, and you'll notice on one side, it's like so, and then on the other side, they've got these little slits right here, okay? So I am simply going to unpeel this side right here, find my image, I'm going to peel off the backing, okay, and I'm simply going to line this up right along the adhesive that's there, and then I can push it down, apply pressure, simply just going to gently peel that off, and there's my image already mounted to my cling stamp. Now that is very, very sticky, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and finish assembling the rest of my images here. So let's just do it one more time. I'm going to peel these off. Find the coordinating piece. Peel off the backing of my stamp, rubber stamp, like so. Now this really isn't that sticky on this side right here, okay? So that it may stick to your block, but it won't last very long. So it is best to stick the image on the front too, to make it even more nice and sticky. Okay, so you want to make sure that your stamp is facing the right way, especially if you've got something that's symmetrical. Make sure that it is facing the right way, okay? So you'll be able to see that the words line up and my images. And then I can simply just stick that down and peel it off. Okay, so if you get a little bit of overhang here, like I have here with my image, you can simply get a pair of paper snips and trim that down if it's really annoying. If it isn't annoying, which I'm fine with, you can just simply leave it like so. So it depends on how much is exposed. Now, if you get your sticker on incorrectly, you cannot take it off, okay? Do not try and remove this off because it will not come off. You'll actually tear the foam off your red rubber and it will make your stamp useless to use. So if you do make a mistake, just live with it. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and I've assembled all of my stamp images. Now remember when I said that we've got this spare? Here's a trick. So I'm going to peel this off right here. And I'm going to stick this right inside of my stamp case. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Now, this can easily be removed if you don't like it, okay? So don't stress over it being stuck in there. And then what you can do is use this as a guide to then stick all your images back in. Okay, that way then you can always know that you've got every image when you put your stamp set away. The other trick down here is down the bottom. It tells you how many images there are right here. There's 9. So you can always count them to make sure that you've got them all as well. And if you don't want this bit here, you can simply remove it out. Okay, as well. Now the other thing too, these cling mount are very, very sticky. So you want to make sure that when you are removing them from your case here or even from your block, that you are very careful. And the best way to do that, I'll give you an example right here on the block. The best way to do that is to peel this right from the side, get your nail in underneath, right, and gently peel the corner back, okay, and then you'll be able to get the rest of that image off. Now, if you leave it stuck down too long, it will be really hard to get off, but that's the best way to do it. Just be very gentle and don't force it, otherwise you will rip the red rubber from the foam itself. Okay, so there's our cling mount stamps and how to assemble your cling mount stamps. Now the other type of stamp set that we have is our photopolymer. These may be called clear on the market, but basically what these are is that they are clear, they're see-through. Now these are great for when you've got a double stamping technique and you've got 2 images that you need each other. And then the best thing about the Stampin' Up ones here is that it has the image already on here, so then you can stick that back down again. Okay, so it's the same thing. You will need an acrylic block to stick that on and to ink it up and then to stamp. Now the plus side to photopolymer is that you can actually see where you are stamping, okay, because it's see-through. So you can see exactly where you're stamping and you won't need a stamp positioning tool, which makes it nice and easy for you. The downside to these, is that they do stain very easily, especially with red, pink or black inks. Now it doesn't affect the outcome of the stamp image itself, like you still will be able to use it perfectly fine and the ink won't come off. So I'll give you an example right here. Here's one that I've used, well used, and it's pretty much stained, but they still work perfect and they still stamp the colored ink that you are using. Okay, so photopolymer will stain. That's just the way it goes. The other thing with your photopolymer stamps is that you want to make sure that you do store them in a cool place. Don't leave them sitting on the back seat of the car, okay, because they will melt. They will change shape. They may not go on your block anymore, and the image quality will not be there, okay? So make sure you keep them in a cool, dry place. Now, when you are using your photopolymer stamps or your cling mount stamps right here, you do need an acrylic block, okay? Like I said before, acrylic blocks come in all shapes and sizes, and they are purchased separately. So just take that in a note of that they will not come with a block or anything like that, unlike your wood mount stamps that already have a block built into it, so you don't have to change it. The beauty about these blocks though is that they are grooved on all these edges here, makes it ergonomically safe for you for when you are doing your stamping, because we really want to be ergonomically safe, don't we? The other thing too is that these blocks are easy to clean. You just simply wash it with some dish soap and a scrubbing brush and you'll be able to clean these up, because they will, with the sticky adhesive that's on the back of these cling stamps, will make your acrylic block go yucky, and sometimes you won't be able to see through it. It'll be dirty with ink and stuff like that. Okay, so they're very easy to clean. And the other best thing about it is that you don't have to have one block per image. You simply stamp, and then when you're finished with it, you can peel it off. All right, and then put your next image on and continue on stamping. So that's the beauties of the acrylic blocks. And once again, like I said, they come in all different shapes and sizes. The other thing to take note here, especially with these Stampin' Up stamps, is that on the case itself, these are 100% size of the image. And so you can easily line up your blocks to make sure that you're getting the right size block. Well, this one says images are at 90%. So these are a lot smaller than what the actual images are. Okay, a little bit smaller. So these are actual size. So I can put my block on there and I can see exactly how big that is and go, yep, that's going to fit that. That one's not going to fit, okay? Because it is very important, and we'll talk about this in another episode, that you have the right size block for your image itself, okay? You don't want something like this, for example. This is a little one, and then having a block like this, okay? Because that is just going to rock, and it's going to add ink into places on your project that you don't want. So it is very important that you get a block that is the size of your stamp set or close to it. Okay. So a question I get asked often is, what happens if I don't have an acrylic block? How can I use my stamp set? Well, here is a quick tip for you. So if you don't have any acrylic blocks, but you still have a stamp set, grab out your mobile phone, okay? This is great for the interim until you do have an acrylic block. Okay, so I've got my image right here. I am simply just going to push down like I would to apply it to my acrylic block, and there it is, all stuck straight to my phone. So I can now go ink and then stamp it down, okay? So there's a quick alternative to in case you don't have an acrylic block. Okay, so now let's talk about the stamp sets that are available, and also how do we decide which stamp set we should purchase next. Okay, so let's have a look at this first stamp set I've got right here. This is all images. This is one of my favorite stamps, and it's been well used over the years. I've had this for over 10 years now, and it's one of my go-to all the time. However, it is not a stamp set that I would pick as your first one. Why? Well, because it only has images. You want something that has words as well. If you were to just stamp an image with a tree on a card, that's great, but what kind of card is it? Is it a thank you card, a congratulations card, a birthday card? What? You don't know if you don't have the greetings there as well. So I do strongly recommend for your first stamp set, you want to go with something that's got both images and greetings, okay? So same thing here. Here's another one. This one here just has words on it. That's great in a sense, but I like things that have got images. Now these do have little funky little things here that you can add to it as well, which makes it really cute and whimsical. However, like before, you're going to need two stamps. You're going to need an image and you're going to need a greeting. So let's get a stamp set that has both images and greetings. So I've got a couple here. This one's really cute. I really like this one. This has multiple different images, but it's also got greetings that go with it. It's like, congratulations, you did it. Okay, thank you very much. That's pretty cute, isn't it? You've got a happy birthday, welcome little one. And the thing is too, you can cut the words off your image. Like here, you can either slice that off and then stick it together when you want it to, so you just have the image, or you can do a masking technique and mask that off so you can only just have the image. As this is an outline image, you can watercolor with this. So there's many techniques that you can do with this as well. I can color in with pencils, with my Stampin' Blends. I can just put it onto colored cardstock without having to color anything. I can heat emboss that. There's lots that you can actually do with this because it has both images and greetings. I can make little note cards because it's so small. So that's a pretty cute stamp set. Here's another one that I really like. This is Free as a Bird. It has obviously images and stamps in greetings as well. And your greetings are in different fonts, which makes it really nice and cute as well. And look at the greetings. I've got thanks for being you, thank you, friendship, best friends. Okay, so I've got different varieties that I can do with this. I can do a thank you card with it. I can do a hello, a general greeting card. I can do a friendship card with this. I got birds with my leaves. I've got little flowers. So there's multiple different things that you can do with this one as well. Here's the last one, another one that I'm going to share with you. This is a balloon celebration. I want you to think about this one for a moment. Have a look at it and see what do you think you could create with that. Okay, so I'm going to give you some ideas here as well. But this is a two-step stamp set. So we have our balloon image, and I've got an outline, a solid image, and I also got this little bit here. So I can simply stamp my balloon with just the outline. I can stamp it just with my solid image. I can combine them all three together to create like a layered balloon. I've got greetings, I've got congratulations, birthday, let's celebrate. I've got string here for my balloons. I've got another here where I can do a bunch of balloons. What about this little image here? Like I can stick that onto this bunch, this string here. I can make a bouquet of flowers out of that. That seems pretty cool, eh? Look at this cloud image. What else do you think that could be? It could be a topper on a birthday cake. So I can get a piece of cardstock and create my card base, my cupcake, and it could be my topper. It can be a cloud for my balloons going up. Okay, it can be multiple different things. So look at your stamp sets differently. Look at it. What can I do with it? Just like we looked at this one here and went, you know what? I can watercolor this. I can create a note card. I can cut off my words. There's multiple different things that you can do with it to make them look different. So that's what I challenge with you today, is to grab a stamp set. Grab one that makes you look at things differently. You want to at least find 5 things that you can create with your stamp set before you purchase it. It's another little tip for you. 5 before you buy. Think of 5 ways that you can use this. Okay? That way you know you're going to maximize the use out of it. Okay, we don't want to buy a stamp set and only be able to use it once. We want to buy a stamp set that we can use over and over and over again for a variety of different techniques or greetings or celebrations, anything. Okay, so that's your challenge. Go ahead, grab a stamp set. Look at what's in your stash. If not, go check over on my online store at KristyCoromandel.com/shop online and purchase your stamp set there. And keep that aside because we're going to come back to it again next time. So there you have it. Everything you need to know about stamps. So your challenge this week is to go and find that perfect stamp set for yourself. Go use some of those tips that I shared with you and put that aside because we'll come back to that at a later date. Now, our next episode, we're going to be talking about ink. We're going to discuss what different types of inks are out there and how do I know which ink I should be using and for what project. And then we're going to finish up with discussing what ink, and what colours should I be purchasing first. I'm Kristy Coromandel and thank you once again for watching this episode. I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.